There was also an increasing number of unlinked cases in the past week, which suggests that there are quite a number of undetected cases within our community, which have led to these unlinked cases. We are also starting to see the emergence of new clusters daily. The government has taken a series of steps progressively over the last 3 months to curb the spread of COVID-19 in Singapore, based on our risk assessment of the evolving situation both locally and globally, as well as our anticipation of the likely trends and developments ahead of us. It is now timely to introduce heightened measures, given the worrying trends, to curb a further rise in cases and preempt widespread community transmission. In other words, we need to apply brakes, hard brakes, to slow the transmission. This is what we meant by a circuit breaker. Enhanced safe distancing is necessary to significantly reduce movement and interactions in both public and private places. This circuit breaker is not a holiday. It is an important opportunity for us to work together to slow the infection significantly. The key message is simply this: stay home, go out only for essential activities, avoid close contacts with people, and if you can't avoid close contacts, wear a mask to protect others and to protect yourself. Everyone must play our part for the circuit breaker to be effective. To effect our plans, we have included provisions in the COVID-19 Temporary Measures Bill to provide the legal basis to enforce the enhanced safe distancing measures. These are temporary measures specific to the COVID-19 situation we are facing currently. Let me elaborate on the key provisions. The bill provides the Minister of Health the power to close premises such as workplaces, schools, recreational facilities, and places of worship to minimize interactions and reduce the risk of COVID-19 transmission, while allowing premises that provide essential services or are in selected economic sectors which are critical to our local and global supply chains to remain open, so that services vital to Singapore's security and to Singaporeans' daily living can continue to be provided. Examples of essential services include healthcare, transport, cleaning services, and food-related services, and supply chains such as the F&B establishments, supermarkets, and food manufacturing. The list of essential services is published online: covid.gobusiness.gov.sg/essential services. The public service will also be fully operational and government services will be available, but with the majority of public service workforce telecommuting. Services that are not essential and will therefore have to close their physical premises include fashion retail outlets, beauty and wellness services, and public and private recreational facilities, such as gyms and swimming pools, including those in private condominiums. For premises that remain open, the bill also provides powers to set requirements for the premises and the manner of carrying out the business while it is in operation. For example, food and beverage providers like hawker centers and restaurants can remain open, but only for takeaway or delivery. Dining in is not allowed, so as to reduce people interactions. Businesses and owners of premises that remain open will also need to implement strict safe distancing measures, such as minimizing staff on site, introducing staggered work hours, or avoid social interactions during meal times, as well as ensuring safe distancing for queues, if any. Second, the bill allows the minister to put in place measures to restrict the movement of people in specified places, as well as to limit the usage of specific premises and facilities. The bill allows the minister to restrict individuals' movements and interactions at their place of residence or any specified place, as well as their use of common areas such as void decks and shared facilities in HDB estates and private condominiums. Members of the public are urged to stay home. There are good and necessary reasons for going out, and these will be allowed by the control order. But we would strongly urge everyone not to go out except to purchase daily necessities, essential services, or for urgent medical needs. And when they are out, they must adhere to the safe distancing measures. While the majority of Singaporeans are responsible and will try to comply with the safe distancing measures, there will inevitably be a few individuals who do not treat the situation seriously and blatantly disregard the rules. For example, they may refuse to adhere to safe distancing measures put in place by F&B venues such as coffee shops or supermarkets, or they may loiter and intermingle in groups in public areas instead of staying at home. In doing so, they place themselves and others around them at risk of an infection. We will not hesitate to take action against such persons and send a strong signal to prevent such behavior from negating our collective efforts during this crucial circuit breaker to slow down the infection. Third, the bill also allows the minister to prohibit events and gatherings or impose conditions on how they are conducted and on the participation in such activities. This enables us to better regulate events and gatherings, including those that take place on private properties. For example, we had earlier required certain events and mass gatherings to be deferred or cancelled. We will now also disallow social gatherings of any size in both private and public places. This would include having private parties or gatherings with families or friends not living together at home or in public places such as parks and HDB void decks. Fourth, the bill provides the option to bring the Requisition of Resources Act, or RORA, into effect for the purposes of containing COVID-19 and caring for the patients and those at risk. This allows for the requisition of land, property, or services needed to ramp up our healthcare capacity and public health capabilities. For instance, if the number of COVID-19 cases continue to rise in Singapore, it may become necessary to requisition buildings suitable for conversion into accommodations and care facilities in order to isolate individuals who are suspected or confirmed to be infected, to reduce the risk of further spread while caring for them. I'm very grateful that today, many hotels and building operators have voluntarily stepped forward in this difficult period to work with the government to support the national COVID-19 efforts. However, in a crisis like this, time is often of the essence, and we cannot rely solely on commercial negotiation or the goodwill of the resource owners. We will need to move fast. Should the RORA be invoked, the government will exercise these provisions judiciously and work closely with the affected parties. The bill empowers the minister or any public officer authorized by the minister to appoint enforcement officers to take action against individuals, business owners, or entities which flout the orders and requirements. The enforcement officers will include police officers, public officers, and health officers appointed under the Infectious Diseases Act. For our enhanced safe distancing measures to work, we need members of the public to take the measures seriously. Therefore, failure to adhere to the measures without a reasonable justification will constitute an offence. We need to send a strong signal to those who are egregious in flouting the measures, as they are putting not only themselves but others at risk. Let me reassure members that the enforcement officers will look at the facts of each case carefully, including whether there are reasonable explanations for any non-compliance before taking action. The penalties are aligned with those under the Infectious Diseases Act. For first-time offenders, the penalty is a fine of up to $10,000 or an imprisonment of up to 6 months, or both. For second or subsequent offences, the penalty is a fine of up to $20,000 or an imprisonment of up to 12 months, or both.